I am concerned about the children, and I want to know, and I know that when government invests in children, the community as a whole improves. And so my question to you is, what are you going to do in your administration to invest in children in the U.S.? Because there's so much disparity about access and mental health, to education, to childcare, that we really need some help with families.
Absolutely. Couple of thoughts. What if we made sure that childcare was affordable for every American, meaning that those children do better and so do their parents who are now freed to enter the workforce or complete their education? Part of that is going to entail paying those childcare workers a true living wage, which is not the case in so much of the country right now. Don't force them to work a second or a third job when they have the most important job right in front of them. Make sure that the tax code reflects this priority by giving working parents a break so that they can afford that. Double the size of the childcare block grants that we're sending out to the states so it's more affordable for every American. Then make sure that preschool is not an option or a luxury for some parents in some places, but is universal throughout the United States of America. So education begins at 3 or 4 years old instead of 4 or 5 years old. Let's make sure that we're recruiting teachers who look like the students in front of them. We see a disparity and inequity in education based on race right now. We know that a 4 or 5-year-old child in a kindergarten classroom is 5 times as likely to be disciplined or suspended if he or she is a child of color in this country right now. So that's something that we've got to get better. Pay public educators a true living wage. We know that in Iowa after 2017, when we no longer afforded those public educators the right to organize and use the leverage of what they provide in the classroom, that the greatest beneficiary was Minnesota, which saw a bumper crop of physics and calculus and kindergarten teachers, all trained by the taxpayers here in Iowa. So elevating the ability to organize for public sector workers is critically important as well. And then the questions come up several times about healthcare. Your child must be able to see a therapist or a primary care provider or a mental health care specialist if they're going to be at their best the next day in that classroom, if they're going to live to their full potential and promise over the course of their lives. All of this will require an investment. And I was asked earlier, how do you pay for that? The wealthiest country on the face of the planet has the resources. Through the tax code alone, we can make the investments in every single one of those programs that I just described, asking the very wealthiest and corporations to pay their fair share, because I agree with the premise. If those kids are doing better, we're doing better as a country. Thank you for asking the question. Appreciate it.